I'm Andre Huey, and this is St. Martin Island Time TV News. Prime Minister William Marlin has shot back at critics of the Pearl of China project, slated for Little Bay.
They have been carrying out development within China, and this is one of their first ventures outside of China, I believe it is. And even if it is not, nobody is going to invest a couple $100 million in a project and have it engineered in such a way that if a hurricane comes, it is going to blow away. Nobody is going to, for themselves, invest in a project like this and don't come up with ideas of how are we going to manage sewage. But then you're also then saying the government is going to give a permit for somebody to run their sewage lines straight into the pond, straight into the lagoon, or into the beach. The people would then be polluting the very beach that their customers would want to use. And I'm saying the fear that people have been instilling in others and trying to put government on the defense because, ooh, the government is bad. Can you imagine what they're doing? China is on the opposite side of the world where you have to travel hours to get to this part of the world. So by coming and having your center here, it is easier to do business with the rest of this part of the region and the world. So again, what it offers is a conference center, convention center, business centers, and the apartments that the minister mentioned. We have so many developments where, again, if you take West End, for instance, they have the hotel section and they have the condo section. We have timeshare properties on St. Martin that some of the rooms are hotel rooms and some of them are apartments owned by persons. And when they are not utilizing it because they're not coming to live in St. Martin, but by having your own unit as part of, let's say, the hotel, when you as the owner or your business associates come to St. Martin, they have somewhere, and when it is not in use, it becomes part of the rental pool.
It is expected that the current difficulties associated with the early elections on St. Martin will serve as a deterrent for ship jumping, according to former Prime Minister Marcel Gums.
One of the things that the whole cabinet, the council ministers, will be very proud of, that we really took the decision to dissolve parliament and to call new elections. The governor apparently, it appears, was convinced by the then new coalition of 8 that they needed time to bring changes to avoid ship jumping. And we can talk about ship jumping for a whole day on a different program. But trust me, I am convinced there is no law that you can bring into Parliament or anywhere in the world to stop ship jumping. In our Constitution, Article 59 is the article, in my opinion, that is put there to discourage ship jumping. To discourage ship jumping. So now that we have put it to test and use Article 59, and as a result of that, elections are going to be held, we will see what happens. If on September 26, the voting public of St. Martin re-elect all the 8 members that brought a motion on confidence against the past government, against my government, then glory be to them, happy to them. We will have to wait and see what the public decide.
Lawmakers in Aruba have voted to grant same-sex couples the right to register their unions and receive benefits granted to married people on the Dutch Caribbean island. Parliament voted 11-5 with 4 abstentions late Thursday to amend civil code regulations related to marriage to same-sex unions. Those articles include such things as the right to a spouse's pension in case of death or to make emergency medical decisions. Aruba is one of the constituent countries that make up the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Same-sex couples previously could get married in the Netherlands and return with their marriage certificate recognized under law obligating recognition of official documents throughout the kingdom. Desiree de Souza Cruz, the Member of Parliament who introduced the legislation, was among those who married in the Netherlands and returned to have the certificate recognized in Aruba, where many people oppose same-sex unions on religious and cultural grounds. Aruba has been under pressure in recent years from the LGBT rights advocates to allow same-sex marriage, but religious groups have opposed the effort. The opposition also fought civil unions as the bill came to a vote. Neither of the other two Dutch constituent countries in the Caribbean, St. Martin and Curaçao, allow same-sex marriage or civil unions. Minister of Romy, Angel Myers, is clearing the air on the suggestion that the work being done on the property over the bank is an election gimmick. According to the minister, the work there is part of the process which started before he became minister.
I know previously, before I assumed the position as minister, in my previous function, there was a discussions that government had acquired property over the bank, and that the ministry had to initiate and do some research to start the process to have the property properly subdivided and prepare a terms of reference for putting in the infrastructure and so forth. When I became a minister of Romy, the ministry, all ministers does receive from their ministries a transitional document, and I received such. And part of that transitional document, the ministry outlines policies and priorities that they are busy with. And one of the things them on that transitional document was the over-the-bank property. In my initial discussions with the SG from the ministry, we indicated to continue the process. The ministry was busy with assessment. There was two sections to the property. There's a built area with a certificate of a measurement 290 from 1984, and an unbuilt area with a certificate of a measurement 162 from 2014. The assessment was done. I indicated that they should prepare a terms of reference, that we start with the subdivision of the property. I received the advice for the terms of reference on February 24th of 2016. That was approved, and in March of 2016, it was published in the local newspapers, and the bidding process began. So again, we started with paving of dirt roads. That is now being executed. If then we do some neighborhood and the other neighborhoods is for a later date, I mean, then they could raise the same thing, or because it's election time, you're paving roads. But again, if I got to follow that trend, it's best we sit down and do nothing till after election.
This has been St. Martin Island Time TV News. I'm Andre Huey. Thank you for watching.